Hello again. Today I want to talk to you about something that you might never have considered, and it's this idea of standardising the format. So let me explain what I mean first. When you standardise something, it means you insist on a minimum quality. So let's talk about McDonald's. Your McDonald's is the same whether you have it here or in Italy or in Jerusalem. Wherever you eat it, your McDonald's burger will taste the same. It will be cooked in the same way. Now, I'm not suggesting that you gorge your children on the equivalent of fast food, but what I am suggesting is if you take this principle of standardising the things that are going to work, it's much, much easier to make the students produce something good. Now, this is mainly an assessment technique, but I'm going to show you the behavioural element of that technique. So, a classic one is students who give up early. And what they have is an interior monologue which says, I don't have to try hard here because it's difficult, and the teacher's got no right to have a go at me because I'm just not as clever as everyone else. And so they justify their laziness here. However, if when you patrol the room, so you've set up a task and you simply go round and start narrating the standardised format, something changes. So listen to this. I'm just going to count the number of lines that people have written, and then I'll walk along the row. 10 lines, 6 lines, 5 lines, 12 lines, half a page, 2 lines, not started yet, 12 lines, a page. Okay, now I've exaggerated the difference there, but not by much. And you can see when it gets to the kid that's only written 3 lines or hasn't started yet, they can no longer narrate that they haven't understood because everyone else has, and therefore it makes them look stupid if they say they haven't understood. They can no longer narrate that the teacher doesn't have a right to say to them, you're being lazy, because it's obvious that they are, because everyone else has done more. Now that is such a powerful motivator, because you never have to tell the kids off. You never have to tell a kid that they're lazy. You never have to tell a kid that they appear stupid. But you expose them in the most honest way possible. Not to ridicule, okay? What you're exposing them to is honesty. They can no longer pretend, that inner voice of theirs can no longer tell them that what they're doing is acceptable. If, on the other hand, you haven't narrated that, and you go to that child, they'll say, well, I don't get it. I don't understand. You haven't helped me. And suddenly you've got a confrontation, which you'll try to diffuse by teaching that kid, which then ruins the rest of your lesson. Okay? And we both know, you and the kid, we both know that they're just being lazy. But after a while, they stop knowing that. They actually believe the voice in their head that says this is tough, it's not fair. But once you narrate what you're seeing and you standardise it by the lines written, then students can never tell themselves they're doing their best, and they can never tell themselves that this is too hard. Why? Because everyone else is doing it. And that is such a powerful switch. I wish I'd known it at the beginning of my career, because I now don't have to tell students off for not working. Sometimes they'll still withdraw, and then you go through whatever your school behaviour policy is, but 99% of the time they will pull it out of the bag and do much more work, because you've standardised what you expect by narrating what's around the classroom. Another top tip for getting students to write, if you notice that that's not getting enough out of them, is just to take your pen and put a dot in the margin where they need to reach to. Yeah, so Alfred over there, he might write a page and a half, and I know that you're going to struggle, so I'm going to put the dot here after 10 lines, or whatever. Yeah, so there's a visual cue for them, and it's very, very rare you see a student not hit that target. They'll be desperate to get there. So standardise the format by narrating the number of lines that you want students to write.